Angel, please, don't be angry with me. Please look, I'm sorry, but look what hat I'm wearing, right? I'm wearing a Brazil hat. Come on, yeah. Anyway, that's for Angel. She knows who she is. Meanwhile, before we watch Superman: The Quest for Peace on the TV, we're gonna check out the Yi King. Yes, if you're fed up with it, then don't check out my channel anymore. 45, gathering together, massing. Above, Tui, the joyous lake. Below, Kun, the receptive earth. This hexagram is related in form and meaning to pi, holding together. That's number 8. In the latter, water is over the earth. Here, a lake is over the earth. But since the lake is a place where water collects, the idea of gathering together is even more strongly expressed here than in the other hexagram. The same idea also arises from the fact that in the present case it is two strong lines, the fourth and the fifth, that bring about the gathering together, whereas in the former case one strong line, the fifth, stands in the midst of weak lines. The judgment, gathering together, success. The king approaches his temple. It furthers one to see the great man. This brings success. Perseverance furthers. To bring great offerings creates good fortune. It furthers one to undertake something. The gathering together of people in large communities is either a natural occurrence, as in the case of the family, or an artificial one, as in the case of the state. The family gathers about the father as its head. The perpetuation of this gathering in groups is achieved through the sacrifice to the ancestors, at which the whole clan is gathered together. Through the collective piety of the living members of the family, the ancestors become so integrated in the spiritual life of the family that it cannot be dispersed or dissolved. Where men are to be gathered together, religious forces are needed. Whoa. But there must also be a human leader, guess that's me, to serve as the center of the group. In order to be able to bring others together, this leader must first of all be collected within himself. Only collective moral force can unite the world. Such great times of unification will leave great achievements behind them. That's provided as military intelligence fucks don't bloody, Anyway, this is the significance of the great offerings that are made. Although when I think about it, even if human beings vanish from the planet will still go on. Cockroaches will become kings, and pigeons and birds and fungus, and it'll still all be good. There you go, paradox. Anyway, where am I? Only collective moral force. Such great times of unification will leave great achievements behind them, even if it is just fungus. This is the significance of the great offerings that are made. In the secular sphere, likewise, there is need of great deeds in the time of gathering together, like it happening. The image over the lake, or rather over the earth, the lake, the image of gathering together. Thus the superior man renews his weapons in order to meet the unforeseen. If the water in the lake gathers until it rises above the earth, there is danger of a breakthrough. Precautions must be taken to prevent this. Similarly, where men gather together in great numbers, strife is likely to arise. Where possessions are collected, robbery is likely to occur. Thus, in the time of gathering together, we must arm promptly to ward off the unexpected. Human woes usually come as a result of unexpected events or even unexpected events against which we are not forearmed. If we are prepared, they can be prevented. The lines 6 at the beginning means if you are sincere but not to the end, there will sometimes be confusion, sometimes gathering together. If you call out, then if you call out, I've had a drink of wine, you see. If you call out, then after one grasp of the hand, you can laugh again. Regret not, going is without blame. The situation is this. People desire to gather around a leader to whom they look up, but they are in a large group by which they allow themselves to be influenced. yes, so that they waver in their decision. Thus they lack a firm center around which to gather. But if expression is given to this need, and if they call for help, one grasp of the hand from the leader is enough to turn away all distress. Therefore, they must not allow themselves to be led astray by bullshit press, bullshit government, and bullshit communities of bullshit interest. This is undoubtedly right that they should attach themselves to this leader. 6 in the second place means letting oneself be drawn brings good fortune and remains blameless. If one is sincere, it furthers one to bring even a small offering. In the time of gathering together, we should make no arbitrary choice of the way. There are secret forces or even forces at work, leading together those who belong together. We must yield to this attraction, then we make no mistakes. Where inner relationships exist, no great preparations and formalities are necessary. People understand one another forthwith, just as the divinity graciously accepts a small offering if it comes from the heart. 6 in the third place means gathering together amid size, nothing that would further. Going is without blame, slight humiliation. Often, a man feels an urge to unite with others, but the individuals around him have already formed themselves into a group, so that he remains isolated. The whole situation proves untenable. Then he ought to choose the way of progress, resolutely allying himself with a man who stands nearer to the center of the group and can help him to gain admission to the close circle. This is not a mistake, even though at first his position as an outsider is somewhat humiliating. 9 in the fourth place means great good fortune, no blame. This describes a man who gathers people around him in name of this ruler, or in name of his ruler. Since he is not striving for any special advantages for himself, but is working unselfishly to bring about general unity, his work is crowned with success. His work is crowned with success, and everything becomes as it should be. 9 in the fifth place means if in gathering together one has position, this brings no blame. If there are some who are not yet sincerely in the work, sublime and enduring perseverance is needed, then remorse disappears. When people spontaneously gather round a man, it is only a good thing. It gives him a certain influence that can be altogether useful. But of course, there is also the possibility that many may gather around him not because of a feeling of confidence, but merely because of his influential position. This is certainly to be regretted. The only means of dealing with such people is to gain their confidence through steadfastness and intensified, unswerving devotion to duty. In this way, secret mistrust will gradually be overcome, and there will be no occasion for regret. Up, up and away. 6 at the top means lamenting and sighing, floods of tears, no blame. It may happen that an individual would like to ally himself with another, but his good intentions are misunderstood. Then he becomes sad and laments. But this is the right course, or maybe it's the right course, for it may cause the other person to come to his senses, so that the alliance that has been sought and so painfully missed is after all achieved. Superman. The quest for peace.